Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Vlogmas. If you're new here, my name's Emily. I do videos on beauty and lifestyle. And today I'm going to be doing the get to know me tag because I've uploaded so many videos on this channel already and realized that I haven't done this tag yet. So sorry for how late this one is. So I found some questions on the internet. I'm not going to do all 80 of them, but I'm going to give it a shot. I've got a hot chocolate here. And I'm gonna start with, what is your middle name? This one's a bit easy. It's Rose, which is in my YouTube title. I started going by Emily Rose ages ago. I think it's just because there were like so many Emilys in my school growing up. But my surname is Brown, so a lot of people nowadays call me either M or ERB. That one, that tends to be more of a thing with guys, I've noticed. Like when I was in college, I was in a theatre tech crew and all the guys called me ERB. And now I'm in the film industry with a lot more guys, and for some reason I just get called ERB all the time, or ERB. I don't really understand it, but I'm not mad about it. But yeah, so my middle name is Rose. Your favourite subject in high school? In high school, that means college over here, so I did art, English, and film studies. Oh, that's bad that I forgot that one. I enjoyed art the best, but when I was doing GCSE, I did a wood tech GCSE, and that was basically my favourite thing I think I've ever done. Art is really close behind, and I've always loved history. English lit I couldn't get behind. I'm not that good a writer, and obviously maths and science just like aren't for me. Film studies really should have been my favourite subject because I work in the film industry now. But I don't know why. I don't remember it like as fondly as I remember my other classes. But I did enjoy it at school. What's your favorite drink? I love coffee. Yeah, coffee. My go-to coffee is, honestly, I love an espresso still. Otherwise, I find that the amount of milk that I take in is like colossal. So an espresso or a macchiato or something. My favorite alcoholic drink is an espresso martini because I'm so boring on a night out. Like I'm such a grandma, I get so tired so quickly, so I need espresso martinis to keep me going. So yeah, I sound like a right coffee addict. My favorite drink is an espresso and my favorite alcoholic drink is an espresso martini. Well, have you participated in any sports? I didn't really do sports when I was a kid. I did ballet all through my childhood and like dance and the tiniest bit of theatre at one point. But yeah, never sports. I don't really like getting like muddy and running around and like all that stuff. But yeah, ballet is gonna be my answer to that. Okay, next question is, what's your favorite perfume? Mine is Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. That is what I wear if I'm like going out for a dinner, or basically on the weekends, that's what I wear. Apart from that, I've been really enjoying like Empressa by Penhaligon. I really like that one, but that's more, I save that for like proper date nights because it feels so fancy when I wear it. What's my favorite holiday? Christmas! I'm obsessed with Christmas. I decorate so much, like within my budget obviously, but then my budget just keeps expanding and expanding over Christmas. I love it. I also really love Thanksgiving just because, I mean, it's kind of sucky because it's hard to decorate over here. I live in England, but I'm half American, so I celebrate Thanksgiving. But it's really hard to get any kind of decorations unless you order it from the US. But on Thanksgiving, I get to go back and see my family, and I normally try and include my friends back, like my friends here in it as well. So last year on set, I brought in little turkey cupcakes. They didn't have turkey in them. I'd iced turkeys onto them. They looked terrible. But I just wanted to like include people in the holiday. I didn't do it this year because I didn't really have time to do anything, but next year I'd like to do something, and I'd love to host a Friendsgiving over here one year, but my home at the moment is not really hostable. It's like way too small, and I also can't cook, so that would be a main thing holding me back. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your childhood. I had a 10 out of 10 childhood. Literally no complaints. I had the most idyllic childhood. It kind of ties in with the next question, have you been out of the country? Yes, I used to travel back to see my family in America every summer, so I would spend my summers in the US and then obviously the rest of the time here in England. So I have been out of the country to New Jersey, where my family is from, and I've been to other states like Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, all East Coast. I haven't really been anywhere else. I also, at uni, traveled back and forth quite a lot to Italy, which ties in with the next question, which is, do you speak any different languages? I speak Italian. I sort of taught myself and sort of had a bit of immersion while I was over there, and then also I know quite a lot of people over here who are Italian, so that's how I keep it up. But it's tricky in the UK to keep up a language, so I haven't been since before COVID back to Italy, but hopefully next year, if I somehow manage to afford it, it would be amazing to be able to go back, but it's not on the cards anytime soon, unfortunately. Do I have any siblings? Yes, I have one little sister. I have one little sister who bullies me like crazy, but I love her, so it's fine. What's my favorite store? Okay, I've got like two answers for this. I've got my normal answer, which is TK Maxx. Obviously, wandering around TK Maxx and getting like candles and skincare is like one of my favorite things. But I really love wandering around an expensive department store. I never really buy anything, like actually ever buy anything, unless it's like Christmas and I'm giving people gifts. Harvey Nichols is really cool, and House of Fraser. I just love walking around them and like testing perfumes and feeling bougie. What's your favorite restaurant? It'd have to be Franco Manca. I think they have them in big cities. That or McDonald's. Hate to say it, but yeah, McDonald's. Did you like school? Yeah, I had a very average time in school. I wasn't popular, but I wasn't like bullied or anything. I had a good time. I had a worse time at university. If anyone wants me to do a video on my experience at university, then I will, because I had a bit of a weird experience, and I didn't enjoy it that much, but I loved college and I loved school. I loved studying growing up, and I still do, and I loved having a sort of smallish group of friends. So yeah, no complaints about school from me. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? Lauren Giraldo is one of my favorites, and then Samantha Nicole is probably the person who inspired me to start a YouTube channel. I've just watched her channel grow over the last year and it's been really inspiring. So I think she's also from New Jersey, which is cool. Apart from that, I used to love watching those Victoria's Secret like day in my life vlogs. Those were cool. Romee Strid, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she was one of the Victoria's Secret models that I loved watching when I was growing up. Well, not growing up, when I was like a late teenager. What's your favorite movie? I think my favorite movie is High Society, High Society, Clueless, and Legally Blonde. Those are my top three. They all have like blonde, slightly ditzy protagonists, but Legally Blonde is like the most inspiring film ever for me, and I love the Jeep in Clueless. It's kind of like my dream car at this point. What are some of your favorite TV shows? The 2016 War and Peace, but also at the moment I've been loving Frasier. That's like completely different, but Frasier is great. I grew up on a lot of costume dramas because my mum came obviously from the US and really wanted to like, I think she wanted to integrate me. She didn't want me to turn out like this little American kid in the UK. So she had me watching so many costume dramas when I was a kid, which is probably the reason I've turned out the way I am now, which is slightly weird. I watched all sorts. I'm gonna put some up on the screen now. Hopefully I can remember some that I watched. But yeah, I loved costume dramas growing up. And I still love like historical dramas, like, you know, The White Queen. They're like British historical dramas. What phone do you have? I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I basically love a big phone. That's basically it. Just whichever one I can get that is the biggest is normally what I'll go for. How tall are you? I'm 5'5.5", so I'm extremely average there. Do you have any pets? My family has a cat called Eliza who's fat and sassy and she's so rude, but I love her. I personally don't have any pets at the moment, but I really want a kitten, like a little ragdoll Siamese. I'm desperate for a little cat. But at the moment, me and my boyfriend work such long hours that it's not really doable at the moment. We're hoping though, at some point, that would be great. Okay, I've rambled on super long, so I'm just gonna do a couple more questions. What was your first job? I can do a quick career history thing now, because actually it's kind of interesting. I've done a bunch of stuff. So I did the classics, like working in a shop on the weekends. I worked in a British Heart Foundation. I've worked in a restaurant, in a prezzo, and I worked in a cafe. I worked in Le Pain Quotidien in St. Pancras station, right outside the Eurostar, so I kind of had to learn French to work that job. But for sure the most stressful one was the one in one of the busiest train stations in Europe, and it was also during all of the attacks that were going on in central London, so the security was this whole stress. But that's where I met a lot of Italians who would very patiently teach me Italian, and actually it was such a mix of people from different countries in Europe that I ended up learning like a phrase in Hungarian, a phrase in Ukrainian, a phrase in Spanish, a phrase in Italian, a phrase in Polish. Like, I learned one word in pretty much most of the European languages, it feels like. Don't remember a single one now, but I had a lot of fun in that job. And then after I graduated university, I worked as a stylist assistant, which you would think would have given me a bit of personal style, but it didn't work. I basically was running around London picking up garments, so I'd go pick up jewellery from East London, drop it in West London, then go to North London and pick up some boots and a massive leather coat. I definitely did that one time, picked up the heaviest leather coat I've ever picked up in my life, and I had to travel it all the way down to South London to pick up something else, and then back up to West London. So that job was crazy, but looking back, I have such fond memories of it. It was right after COVID, so there was no one in London. It was basically only me on the tube, I'm pretty sure. But it was a lot of fun. Where did you grow up? This I feel like I should have answered this really early on. I grew up in Hampshire, just outside of London. That's why I have this posh ass accent, and I stay there, and then I've moved out to Bristol since. Where else did I live? I also lived in central London for a few years for uni, like central, like zone 1 London, which was insane and extremely expensive, but I'm so glad I did it for a few years because now I get to go back to London occasionally, but I have no desire to live there anymore. What are your life goals? My life goals are basically to be a mum. That is what I'm set on 100% at the moment. My career, like in the film industry and on YouTube, sort of come second. Obviously I really enjoy making YouTube videos and sometimes I enjoy my job. But no, I do enjoy my job, but I would really like to become a mum, so being in my industry and being a mum is going to be really tricky, but I might be able to figure it out. But yeah, I'd like to be a stay-at-home mum for a few years, see how that would go, and maybe work a little bit on the side. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, let me know and I can do a part 2 to this video. Otherwise, please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!